Welcome to the place where atheists show up, they watch my videos, they leave comments based on these videos. The irony being that I'm not an atheist. But what my goal is, one of my goals is to understand the collective culture of atheists. Now, let me immediately say this. I do not believe that the people who watch my videos and leave comments, I do not believe that those comments are necessarily the overall perspective of atheists worldwide or nationwide, anything like that. But for me, making these videos, I get a better understanding of the perspectives of atheists, at least the ones who would watch my videos and leave comments, which, by the way, that's you. You're at least watching this video, and many of you will be leaving comments below. So what we need to explore better is this concept of, well, let me actually share the video title with you. I recently made a video called "Do Atheists Not Believe Suicide is Immoral Since They Are More Likely to ... commit suicide?" And that's a follow-up to another video I'd made explaining my understanding, and that is atheists are more likely to commit suicide. So a lot of the criticism I received is people saying that I'm just making it up. I've been called a liar, a coward. Here's a comment from David Higgins, quote, "Nick, you're a hole. Stop your religion videos and atheist bashing and stick to hair loss videos. You stupid Christian extremist. It's also not a fact that atheists are more likely to commit suicide. You pulled that out of your ... So this is feedback I'm getting from a lot of people watching these videos. They are accusing me of making this up, basically spreading a rumor about atheists, basically attacking atheists, saying, hey, you atheists, you're more likely to commit suicide. So clearly what you believe is wrong. You should believe in God. Not at all. For me, I'm looking at demographically. Demographically, are atheists more likely to commit suicide? Based on what I know and based on the links I'm putting in this video, that is my understanding. So let's check out the links I'm going to put below for you to do the research from here so that I can let you be the judge on this. So the article I referenced in the last video was called "Atheism Has a Suicide Problem." That was the article. It's on the Huffington Post, and the author's name is, I guess, Stacks Rosch. I'll spell his name, S-T-A-K-S, last name R-O-S-C-H. You can just look at the first link. It's going to be that article that was posted in the Huffington Post. In that article, he links to an article on Psychiatry Online, and it is called "Religious Affiliation and Suicide Attempts." When you click on that link and go to that, and already you have to make a decision right now. Would you trust what you read on Psychiatry Online? Would that be a credible source? I'll let you be the judge on that. If you do believe that Psychiatry Online is a credible source, and especially after you go to the website and check it out, and look at the article, which again, the second link will be this, "Religious Affiliation and Suicide Attempt." You can look at that article and you can see where under, it's sort of at the top, it says conclusions. Okay, so this is the conclusions of a study done by Psychiatry Online. And I'm going to quote this under the part where it says conclusions. Quote, "Religious affiliation is associated with less suicidal behavior in depressed impatients. Greater moral objections to suicide and lower aggression level in religiously affiliated subjects may function as protective factors against suicide." End quote. And again, I didn't make that up. That came from Psychiatry Online. You can check out the link yourself. So ultimately, going back to the title of the video that is controversial for a lot of people watching it, the title is called "Do Atheists Not Believe Suicide is Immoral Since They Are More Likely to Commit Suicide?" That was the question being asked. And notice it is a question. I wasn't actually stating that in the title. That I was asking atheists that. And based on what we see here in this article, that's precisely what the research is showing. That atheists do not believe suicide is immoral because they're less likely to. So the reverse of that, again, going back to the article, let me quote again, "Religious affiliation is associated with less suicidal behavior in depressed impatients." And let's camp out on that, depressed, right? Apparently, I'm understanding that if you're depressed, you're more likely to commit suicide. I think that's common knowledge. But it's saying if you were someone who is depressed and you are, let's say, a church attending Christian compared to someone who's an atheist who does not have a support group, you're more likely to commit suicide if you're looking at those two extremes. Now, I could also easily buy into if you're an atheist who has a strong support group and you're depressed, you're probably less likely to commit suicide too. But in general, based on what I'm understanding here is, in general, Christians are more likely to be affiliated with a group, a support group, whereas atheists are less likely to. And that's an overall theme that I talk about on this channel. I talk about the fact that atheists will say that there is no culture of atheism. They will say that there is no community of atheists. I would say differently. I think that largely that's who's watching these videos that I'm doing. Greater moral objections to suicide and lower aggression levels. See, that's another thing I've pointed out in these atheist videos, that I'm seeing so much anger, perceived anger. I mean, we read the one comment, people are cursing at me, calling me a liar, a coward, all these things. It really comes across as anger. It does not emotionally affect me. It does not hurt me because, again, that's a reflection of the person saying that. That's saying they fear being called those things. They fear being perceived as immoral or wrong or ignorant, which I don't fear those things. I know that at any given point, someone will easily think or say those things about me. But what I have pointed out, at least in the collective culture in the comments, is that I see so much aggression, so much anger and rage, so many people who just by default see me as a villain, a liar, a coward, someone who's wrong for existing as a Christian. So I think that the thing about having the aggression level higher in atheists, I definitely think is part of it. And I didn't make that up. That is in the article. So it's saying that having moral objections to suicide, which I would say largely Christians are going to overwhelmingly be more opposed to suicide in general than atheists. It's saying that's one of the things that protects Christians from being as suicidal as atheists. And also, again, being less aggressive, because Christianity teaches forgiveness. It teaches redemption. It teaches all these things to have a, how do we say it, a more peaceful mind. So ultimately, I feel that everything I said in that video and everything I said in that title is accurate. At this point, though, I'm not the one to debate. The one to debate is, again, this article on Psychiatry Online. An actual research done. And if you also want to disagree with someone, how about an atheist named Stax Rosh, if I'm saying his name right, the guy who wrote the article, Atheism Has a Suicidal Problem. So that's what they're saying. All I'm doing is repeating it, and I'm letting you, the atheist, decide if you agree on that. I've even had many atheists recently teach me in these videos, they're saying atheists don't have the option to choose to believe something. Either it's real or it's not. Well, I guess not what I'm asking you to do is to choose to believe here, but I'm asking you to make a decision here on this. Do you believe what these articles are saying? Forget me. Anybody can stand in front of a camera and put a link in a description and say, read it, or and quote the article. Anybody can do that. It doesn't mean that I'm saying that's your truth. I'm saying you decide what is your truth by clicking those articles and deciding for yourself. I feel that everything I've said has been backed up by that article that I did not write. That I think, again, most people would respect an article on Psychiatry Online. I think that's a respectable source. So, what I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to challenge you not to funnel your anger and rage towards me, because I know that I'm the avatar of everything a lot of people are against. The moment they see a Christian, automatically that's a villain, right? But I'm saying, let's divert the focus on this article in Psychiatry Online. That's what I want to be discussing, because I feel what I have said is right, but who cares what I think? What matters is what you think about this article that ultimately inspired these couple of videos that I've done. Now, after you click those links and after you read those articles, then I want you to come back and I want you to leave a comment. That's where this conversation is going. Read the articles, leave a comment, and then decide if you agree that I'm not lying, that I'm not making this up, but instead there actually is scientific evidence pointing to me actually being legitimate in what I'm saying. You be the judge after you read the articles. Your comments belong right here.